each passing day, commuters and drivers are paying the price for government's inaction. Welcome to the Pokuase-Nsawam stretch, where driving is a nightmare for drivers and commuters, and where every bump feels like a gamble with your vehicle's safety. This stretch has been under construction for years, yet today, the contractor is nowhere in sight. The result? An obstacle course of potholes, forcing drivers to crawl bumper to bumper, twisting and turning just to stay on four wheels. On our visit, more than 20 vehicles were seen broken down in the middle of the road. Here lies another broken down car, and another, and another. Vehicles, both big, long, medium, or whatever size it is, at some point in their journey to Kumasi, have to at least run through this muddy water. A very difficult situation for many of them because they don't know what exactly under the surface of that water looks like. You may as well just call it the muddy pool of death, because I've counted not one, not two, but more than 3 vehicles in this section alone that are broken down. They haven't moved an inch in hours. The difficulty is that no help can come to you at this particular point in the middle of a muddy pool.
All right, this is still the AM show. Let's do the concluding part by bringing in and, speaking to someone who knows a lot more about what's happening on the Pokuase Road. He is the chairman of the Road and Transportation Committee of Parliament and the member of Parliament for Wasa East. I call him the Wasa East Mugabe because when the constituency was, taking out of the Mpaw Wasa East, he was the MP and he's been the MP. So today, Honorable Isaac KJ Mensah, good morning.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
And thanks for coming.
Well, right?
Yeah. Anyway, you saw there in that video the challenges that Ghanaians are going through every day. Why is the road this way and we're not seeing any action on the road to bring relief to the people who travel on this road?
Thank you so very much, and thank you also for giving the opportunity to come to your studio once again and to talk about the same issue on roads. It's regrettable. It's something that you cannot defend. It's unacceptable because of the excruciating pain, for commuters going to Kumasi and that stretch. So that is regretted. I think that there were issues relating to some honoring of IPCs, that were sent to the ministry by the contractors. By the contractor. And the road is being done by one of the best contractors, Marapoma. Okay. Marapoma is, reputed to be one of the best in the sub-region. And so if he's on such projects, you have no doubt that he'll perform. And so the whole issue was about the honoring of IPCs. And when contractors...
So IPCs are the interim, performance certificates?
Yes,
okay.
So it's about money.
Okay.
And my understanding is that the ministry has had some arrangement and engagement with him to go back to site. We inherited this project. And there were issues relating to some payments. And given the situation, the government at the time wasn't able to honor all of them. And so we inherited it, and we just have to, accept it and move on. Because of the relationship that the ministry has had with the contractor, some minor jobs were being carried on. I remember about 3 months ago, the committee had a visit to the project, and we saw some work going on. But again, the areas that needs to be worked on is where now it's been giving much problems. During this time, during the rainy seasons, you realize that roads get worse, especially in areas that had not been attended to. And so it is also not too smart thing to do when, especially the road is still, on traffic, to work on them.
But the road was left even before the season.
Yes, it was being attended to, but gradually.
Really?
It's been worse, yes.
What was happening on the road? Because people say the contractor packed out. There was no work
Yes, exactly.
happening on the road.
But there were some minor, interventions, on the stretch. But the critical situation is what we see it now. But the goodness of it is that the contractor is back to site, and he's ready to make things done.
When was that? Because
I think for the past 3 days, the minister has come out, and if you check on the Ghana web, there's been some publication of a sort.
That the minister is back on
No,
on
I'm
site?
talking about the minister talked about the fact that some financial arrangement has been made to fix the contractor, and so the contractor is back on site. I was just in Adom TV this morning, and they've confirmed that, yes, the contractor is on site. But the challenge is that because it's a bigger and a longer stretch, and the fact that the road cannot be closed, it has to be done in a manner that can still allow traffic and moving forward. There probably could have been a detour, but you see, because of the huge traffic on that stretch, you can't provide any detour, any bypass. That is also going to be another challenge. So what we can do is just to allow this thing to go. It's a painful exercise now, but we bear with commuters, we bear with Ghanaians. And now that the contractor, the difference between the contractor or the challenges, there has been more or less resolved. The hope is that it will be better.
So what you're saying, I see it on the Ghana web now. It says work has finally resumed on the long abandoned Pokuase-Nsawam stretch of the Accra-Kumasi Highway, bringing relief to commuters. It says construction crew officially returned to site over the weekend and have since been working daily to recover lost time. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwame Govt, confirmed this in an interview with Accra-based Class 91.3 FM. Yeah. Those of you who are living on that road, please, let's see pictures of whether you've seen any work on that particular stretch. We'll be happy to have that particular confirmation, because as we sit here, it will be difficult to confirm that. But,
exactly. I don't want to disprove or think that the minister is not giving us the right information. It is. But you see, road construction is said that it calls for a longer time for mobilization.
Okay.
So mobilizing resources to such a road will take some time. And in terms of seeing physical action, but you could see that because they never, vacated the project entirely, going back is not a big deal. It's a longer stretch, and it is not only that stretch that the contractor was working on. So now that the agreement has been reached to go back to site, I think that in the next couple of days, we can see or we see some improvement, on that stretch.
But with such a critical road, linking the capital Accra to one of the economic capitals of Ghana, Kumasi, why did government allow it to lie fallow with no work being done from January or December till now?
No, actually,
you mentioned IPCs, yes, but I mean, once you know it's a critical road, why didn't government do anything so that the construction could have continued, just so we wouldn't have been because you've been there before. Once it is like this, it will increase the cost, won't it?
Exactly. See, I am not in a position to talk in much detail for the executive. I'm in Parliament as a chairman of a committee, but I'm always in contact with them, and I know that they are always taking the right decision. We inherited this project. We inherited it from the previous government, and so there's some money to be sorted out.
Yeah, we
and
get
so
that.
that is said. And so that does not mean that the contractor will have to evacuate site. But I know that he never evacuated entirely, because we visited the site and we had opportunity to go around.
Okay.
Well, for the committee in Parliament on which you chair, did you not inherit any report at all? Because at least you're telling us that the challenge that you first faced was IPC. Did you not have any reports that indicated, well, there weren't enough funds, budgeted cost? Didn't the government anticipate that up until this time we're going to need this amount for us to leave it fallow, as Brace is saying?
My understanding is that when we visited the site, there were some work ongoing.
Right.
The stretch has not been evacuated. We talked about the fact that work had slowed down on that stretch. And so the expectation was that the contractor was going to go back. But still, the ministry was sorting out those financial differences. And so I want to say with authority that road was not evacuated by the contractor. Okay. Except that stretch, the speed and the enormity or the force with which they can get it sorted out wasn't forthcoming because of the fact that some IPCs will have to be sorted out. But I'm happy that situation is sorted out and the contractor has gone to site. The minister has taken the whole issue to himself and is going to make sure that it doesn't happen again. The most important is that when we are able to achieve some relative progress, we don't have to allow it to deteriorate again.
How much progress do you anticipate would achieve? How much progress?
I am not in the position to give the details because I'm not in the executive. This is a situation where the executive, I mean the ministry can tell you. But for us, as committee in Parliament, we've always been getting reports. We've had cause to visit the road. Some of our colleagues travel to Kumasi, and the report that has been coming in is unacceptable. And that's why I said that I'm not here to defend the situation. It's unfortunate, it's regretted, but the goodness of it is that the minister has been able to swiftly have had an arrangement with the contractor to go back to site. And now evidence show that they are on site. And we hope that there wouldn't be any challenge again, that will bring us in this bad state. But the understanding is that during this time, during this period, rainy season, road construction is very, very difficult. Okay. Because where you can get things done day and night, you probably cannot be able to do that. But my consolation is that the issue between the ministry and the contractor, as said by the minister, is sorted out. I once also said that in Adum, that this is one of the best contractors. Okay. Marikoma is one of the best contractors in the sub-region. Okay. And so I have no doubt at all that now that these issues are sorted out, you will not go back to site of
Okay. We are grateful to you. Honorable Isaac J. Mensah, I was going to add the concept for coming. Exactly. He is the chairman of the Roads and Transportation Committee of Parliament. Thank you so much for coming.
So I just wanted to also to say, because I probably should have, thanked you before I started.
You did.
Also let my people know that I'm here.
Yeah,
but the goodness of it is that I wanted to thank Ghanaians on my own behalf and commend the president for his diligence and professionalism, leadership that he provided during the crash, during the challenge that we have. And he demonstrated to Ghanaians how we are together. And it was not part in a political situation here. In Parliament, minority and majority were together, and we did everything in the visitations and so on. And you realize that the government also setting this children's fund, which is for me, it's a trust fund that is going to take care of the future, the education, everything. Okay. So let's get this bond, this thing together. But it's all about illegal mining.
Okay. All right.
And you got to fix it.
Okay. So
Thank
you got
so
to fix
very much.
All right. Well, for someone whose constituency has a lot of illegal mining, he says he's going to fix it. Oh, we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.